In today's video, I'm going to play some video clips and review an article and might leave you thinking. From the previous video I did, someone suggested that the Google Trends data could come from people searching for Hyln, and that could be true. I'm sure that there's hundreds of people in a very specific region, for example, Nashville, Tennessee. There are a bunch of retail Hyln investors that are searching for Hyln Holdings Corporation. That's what's going on there. Now, the latest thing that I've noticed with Hyln is that they've pushed the break-even cash flow for selling generators off by about a year, which is not too surprising. And it also looks like they're going to be going into debt to purchase 3D printers.
Initially, we expect gross margins to be negative, but also to improve quickly as we realize scale efficiencies in production and purchasing. We are currently targeting gross margins to be approximately break-even, measured on a cash basis, by late 2025 or early 2026.
Originally, it was early 2026, and you have to keep in mind that these are forward-looking statements. So they're subject to change, and they don't have to go back and correct them. So whenever they say expects or plans, those are forward-looking words.
Beyond that time frame, we haven't yet developed a firm forecast.
Maybe reaching approximately cash neutral margins late in 2026 for our 200 kilowatt product.
So now it's shifted to late 2026, and that's their interview with Sidoti. And I have a feeling that someone is paying to have Sidoti, if that's how you pronounce them, do these analyst forecasts to try to get that independent research out there. That's a good thing, because otherwise there'd be no research on this company in a professional standpoint.
We're expecting to commercialize this product sometime late in 2025 after we've got feedback from our early deployment customers and are able to incorporate that feedback in any necessary design changes and software updates for the system. And overall, we'll end up deploying somewhere, we'll end up producing somewhere around 24 units for the year and somewhere between $10 and $15 million of revenue. And then we haven't provided specific guidance for 2026 other than saying we do expect a significant ramp up in business and deliveries in next year and in future years. But we are providing research and development services to the Navy, and we expect that we will be providing similar services to other customers in the future, or at least other parts of the military in the future. So we did.
He said with other parts of the military in the future.
To start to recognize revenue.
Let's just play that again.
To other customers in the future, or at least other parts of the military in the future. So we.
And a month later, he's at this procurement meeting. Potentially getting another segment of the military. That would be the Army.
Pure 3D printers, set those up, and that process can take over a year to do. And so any vision or any kind of visibility into the horizon of demand and volumes is extremely helpful, because this isn't just hire contractors to go build it. This is go buy new machines, new equipment that will be better at manufacturing.
That would be buying GE printers. That is bringing in revenue to General Electric GE has their people at Hyln, Josh Mook et al. Their technology is at Hyln, and now Hyln is going to borrow money to purchase these printers.
We expect that capital expenditures for 2025 will be approximately $25 million, or $10 million higher than 2024, as we continue to take delivery of new additive printing machines and other assets needed to ramp up KARNO generator production. We plan to offset that increase with around $10 million of equipment financing.
So they're going to borrow $10 million to get these printers, and all they would have to do is service that debt or pay a fraction of that $10 million in terms of interest payments or however that loan is arranged. But now you're seeing that they want to scale up and grow, and in order to do that, they're going to have to pull out, well, it's not a credit card. They have to take out a loan to get these printers.
With these assumptions, our total cash outlays for 2025, net of equipment financing, are expected to be similar to 2024.
That's the machines you see behind me are actually running right now, making parts, right? You see, it's pretty neat. You see, there's no one there actually working on it, right? But
Now, the key is with this fourth industrial revolution, you don't need people anymore. You just need machines. Yes, the people are going to have to assemble these parts, but you can see that green light on that printer, so it means it's running. There are 3D printed parts staged right outside that printer, but the focus is on this new way of manufacturing, and that is a GE printer printing GE parts. And now Hyln is going to now borrow money to, which is not a bad thing, to grow and buy the printers that they need to demonstrate that this is possible. And they're also being positioned almost in front of GE customers with the Office of Naval Research and the next door neighbor, the Army.
machine is printing these parts, making them as we speak, and so we'll be also scaling up our the manufacturing capabilities, adding more 3D printers as well. And we're a tech startup, so.
And this is the first time I heard it. It's September of 2024. He's at this meeting and he says he's a tech startup.
And we're a tech startup, so we went public a few years ago on the New York Stock Exchange, and our whole focus is making power generation technology. So I think without a doubt we've heard this shift to electric is happening. The thing that we haven't talked too much about is where is all this power going to come from? And
it's going to come from GE technology, and it's going to be created with GE printers. And the algorithm shows me things. And the latest thing that it showed me is an article from GE Vernova, which is a part of GE. They split it up into three. And it's talking about General Electric spinoff is working to usher in energy's next generation using a combination of its legacy roots and focus on startups. And in that previous video clip, Thomas said that he's a tech startup. And I think what showed me this, why I recommended it, is that it talks about Montana Technologies. And Montana Technologies, that's Stephen Peng, which he helped do the special purpose acquisition with Hyln. He went over to Montana Technologies, which is now called AirJoule. And AirJoule is partnered with GE Vernova. Now, there's one statement in here that says one of those stakeholder groups is the community of clean tech and energy transition startups. And the CEO of the GE is trying to forge partnerships with them. And oddly, Hyln is partnered with GE Aerospace and not GE Vernova. And it mentions that GE Vernova launched a joint venture with Montana Technologies, and that's where Stephen Pang went to. The maker of a system that harvests water from the atmosphere, and invested with Form Energy, which develops energy storage solutions. The greatest value that we add for this energy startup isn't going to be the money we invest. It can be the supply chain team that I had at his factory in West Virginia last week, or the commercial leader that's meeting with his commercial team this week to help them understand contracting with a different type of customer than they're used to. So in this situation, he's partnering up the tech startup with a supply chain team and a commercial leader that could be a potential customer. And if you think of it in terms of Hyln, GE Aerospace is partnering, well, it has their supply chain team there. That could be Equilibrium Additive. They have their technologist there. That's Josh Mook and his team. And their commercial leader, that would be the Office of Naval Research. And oh, by the way, they know the Army. And it's this joint effort between GE and Hyln. And inside a different segment or a different vein there is Montana Technologies, which deals with water and cooling things, which data centers need cooling. But they kind of seem mismatched. It's like Hyln really needs to go with GE Vernova since it's on energy, but it can't because they're trying to demonstrate this fourth industrial revolution thing with GE's 3D printers. So they can't. They're kind of locked into this GE Aerospace column. And another person that's been there all along is not Stephen Pang, but the former CEO, I think he's the chairman or something like that, of Agility. And he was there when, the Hypertruck ERX, they were doing development there. And that would be a whole separate video to talk about my thoughts on that. The CEO of GE Vernova says that they can help other companies in the energy ecosystem better understand how to build products at scale. Hyln is working on building products at scale and how to reach customers effectively. Two muscles it built as part of the GE empire. Things to think about. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.